Some people I don't want to be bothered with, I don't want around me, because first of all, what it takes to be around them is you have to acquiesce. You have to in some way submerge yourself into what they want you to be just to get along with them. Some people I don't want to be bothered with, I don't want around me, because first of all, what it takes to be around them is you have to acquiesce. You have to in some way submerge yourself into what they want you to be just to get along with them. You have to in some way submerge yourself into what they want you to be just to get along with them. You have to in some way submerge yourself into what they want you to be just to get along with them.
If the Negro is to be free, he must move down into the inner resources of his own soul and sign with a pen and ink of self-assertive manhood his own Emancipation Proclamation.
If you want to talk about guns, why is it that there's a gun shop on almost every corner in this community?
Why?
Tell you why. For the same reason that there's a liquor store on almost every corner in the black community. Why? They want us to kill ourselves. You go out to Beverly Hills, you don't see that shit. But they want us to kill ourselves. Yeah, the best way you can destroy a people, you take away their ability to reproduce themselves. Yeah, the best way you can destroy a people, you take away their ability to reproduce themselves.
Yeah, that's right. And we didn't listen. Because once the black home becomes solid, the community becomes solid. And then no matter where black people go, there will be a solid black community where their money remains in a cycle that racism and white supremacy cannot penetrate. The insignificant ones want you to continue to value them, their ways, and their possessions, so that way you will continue to emulate them instead of embracing your ancestors.
Among those American eugenicists who most strongly supported the Nazis was a member of the American Eugenics Society, a director of the American Birth Control League, and a writer for the Birth Control Review. His name was Lothrop Stoddard.
As an avowed racist, Stoddard was the author of a book called The Rising Tide of Color Against White World Supremacy, which was widely promoted by the Ku Klux Klan.
Now, we all know, none of us are blind, we all know that all white people are not racist and white supremacists and doing their all to keep us down and whatnot, because that's what their forefathers were taught to do and told to do. But we have to consider something very serious. The very white people that obviously don't hate us, you know, they don't have anything against us, they're not trying to implement our idea of freedom and our idea of equality. They're implementing their own. They want to see equality for all people under a white rulership, under white standards, under white morals, under white perspective. So in other words, even the ones that don't hate us, they are still not mentally equipped to consider what we want and the way we want it. They will continue to be willing to negotiate or reason under their understanding of equality, their understanding of freedom, because they have no clue what our freedom and our equality requires. They don't know. So that's why they always consider their way no matter what. So therefore, since they don't hate us, they need to get out the way. They need to just get on out the way and let us achieve our freedom the way we want to, instead of trying to reason and bargain and get us to understand what it is all about. Because see, we're not dumb slaves anymore that cannot see the system. It's not like we cannot understand what's going on. We understand what's going on. We see what's going on. So for all you white people who are claiming not to be racist or pretending not to be racist or even practicing the fact that you're not racist or white supremacist and you don't hate us, get out of the way. Because the minute you get in the way, you do the same thing that a few generations ago did back in the late 60s, or should I say a generation ago. They got in the way, and they brought in their principles and their morals, their standards of trying to gain a freedom for us that should have been by our rules. They should have been had our understanding at the top instead of second or third or fourth. So I know you white people who are out there listening, I know you don't mean no harm, but get the hell out the way. Because this is something that black people need to do for us, by us. You know what I'm saying? We need to take care of this ourselves. You want to help? Get behind us. Don't get beside us, and damn sure don't get in front of us. Yeah, now, why do I say get behind us? Because you don't know. You only have one type of vision or one perspective about equality and freedom. You only see it one way because you've never seen it any other way before. And the only way that you know it and see it is the white way. And see, by you keep interfering and trying to reason and trying to get us to understand the way you see it doesn't matter, because the way you see it has been crippling us for years. This is why you guys follow our videos everywhere all over YouTube. This is why every time you see one of us on the news, you step up with something to say, you know, trying to show your empathy. But you only have an empathy to a certain level. And that level is strictly white. You see, you don't want to go to Capitol Hill and discuss why aren't black people having a say in the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and the Declaration of Independence. You don't want to raise hell about that. You don't want to raise hell about why Bush extended our voting rights another 25 years instead of cementing them. You don't want to discuss that. You don't want to go to Capitol Hill and discuss that either. But instead, when you see us raising hell or us trying to help our own, you want to step in with something to say. I'm not even going to tell you what kind of behavior that is. But this is clear cut. You guys need to just get the hell out the way. We've tried it your way once already in the late 60s when you and your people joined up and dovetailed with our movement, with our Black Power movement and our Civil Rights movement. Once you good white people who don't hate blacks got involved, it got screwed up. So keep your ass out the damn way. Have all the comments you want. Say all you want, but stay out the way because you don't understand what we're doing. You see what we're doing, you see what we're saying, and it computes in your head in a completely defensive manner. You want to help and you want to try to get behind us, or so to speak, then get your ass behind us and get back there in the far back and do what we say, because you don't understand. You don't know your own history in this country. You don't know the true inception of this country. You don't even know what George Washington did to the Moors. You don't even know about the original national flag that George Washington had removed. But it's been twisted and turned into a cherry tree story. That much I'll tell you. So you good, so-called good white people and understanding white people, you have a bad understanding about racism. And it's the one that's been fed to you. You have a bad understanding about white supremacy, and the majority of you act like you're scared to do something about it. Because if you really gave a damn about our freedom and our equality, you would go straight to the Klan and eliminate them. You would go to Washington and have a whole lot of these wrongdoings eliminated. But we know you don't care. We know you're only posturing. So stop running up in our faces trying to reason and explain. Just get the fuck out the way. That way the respect won't be messed up and an understanding will be gained, because an understanding is better than gold.